Hey there, guys. Dragon Master here, and I want to welcome you to Star Wars and Earth Legends Episode 1, A Big Change. So on a quick note, this is my first episode for Legends. So for this series, I'm going to be doing 10 episodes. I'm not going to do the whole thing of Legends, just like the more important things, such as, like I said, the Yuuzhan Wars, Abeloth, and a few other events. The future, like I know in Star Wars Legends that we go up to a time of Darth Krayt. I think I'll do a separate series for that, for the future of Legends, but for now, I think we'll stick to the main story of Legends. So, without further ado, let's begin. We start our journey off in the multiverse, where anything is infinitely possible. And in one of these universes we will see will be Star Wars Legends. Well, I guess the Legends universe of Star Wars for Earth. In this universe, Earth was connected to the planet of Corellia, a core world and one of the founders of the Republic. So the events will change due to this instead of it being connected to Empress Tita. Since Corellia, well, one of the big differences is that they'll have more, I guess, like they'll be better at building ships because Corellia is famous for having some of the best shipyards along with Kuat. So Corellia and Earth, like Empress Tita, would have a good relationship. They would trade and work together to build many companies would work with Corellia and their independent government and would help them with their influence, as the Trade Federation at the time was taking a lot of Corellia's influence in the galaxy. So the two would become close, and Earth in the same way would of course would expand as would build colonies across the unknown regions, but it would be much quicker with Corellian's help due to how good they are at building ships. So the events are still the same with them building up like armies for the Clone Wars as it builds up. The events of, oh right, the Phantom Menace would still be the same with a few differences. Is that the Trade Federation does not have any like do trade with the Terrans due to them being with Corellia. So the Clones Wars would obviously break out. But one of the difference is that Earth would never be attacked by the Separatists due to Corellia being neutral in the war. So the Terrans would be like chill with Corellia, they would be neutral. So the attack on Earth never happens, as Palpatine wanted, since he had no way to attack Earth. And as the Corellians did have their own military to protect their own world, the Separatists never are able to attack Earth. So that's one of our major differences, that Earth never actually participates in the Clone Wars. So what the Earthlings would do, well, Earth would still, and its colonies would still be a refugee place. They would take in all the refugees. That's still the same. But it's just like in the same thing, one of the difference is that they would not be fighting. They would go to battles, but after they were done to salvage Separatist technology and Republic technology, they would basically salvage technology left over from battles. So the events would still be the same, how the Clone Wars was, no major differences. It's just the Terrans are just more of like, I guess you can say as charity people who help worlds that are suffering, neutral worlds, supplying them with food and supplies. Basically, they would have more connection with the people than they would, so they wouldn't have like much sway in the Senate. They would just have better sway with the people. So when the Empire is formed, you probably think since they don't have much support in the Senate, like due to them not participating in the war, that the Empire would have no trouble dealing with them. Well, that's where you're wrong. As you know, even back during the Empire's era, the Corellians were still independent, but they did support the Empire. They had to pretend to support the Empire. They did join the rebellion secretly. So we know one of the difference is the Empire has, well, I guess, has really no way to get to Earth and its colonies, as Corellia is more of a sort of like independent sort of world from them. They just support them. And but they do need Corellians to build the Empire's ships, so they can't really do much. And as for the senators, the Terrans actually do have sway, as the Terrans were gracious enough during the war to help many of their worlds. With this, the Terrans have support in the Senate, just not as strong as they used to, but they still have enough to keep the Empire off their backs. And with the people's more support, the Empire knows they can't really do anything, so that's one of the differences. So many of the events are still the same, with how the Terrans make contact with multiple species, they grow, but one of the differences is, as Palpatine did fear this, was the Terrans grow into be a rival to the Hutt Empire if they were left alone. And since the attack on Earth never happened, they could do or are able to grow much quicker, as they don't have to rebuild Earth. They eventually do become even stronger due to this. So, and with Corellia supporting them, they have better shipyards, so the Terrans are able to produce many more ships. So the events still are the same with Thrawn, the Rachni Wars. Of course, there is someone to replace. You probably think who's going to replace Thrawn. Well, it's, as I've said, this will be a new Imperial, I guess, Admiral who will take over for Thrawn. He's human, but he is similar to Thrawn's personality and is an excellent strategist. He's one of my OCs, like my own creations. But anyway, so war would eventually break out the same, but one of the differences is that since the Terrans are connected, the Corellia, they and are supported and they're independent from the Empire, the Corellians, that it's sort of going to be hard for the Empire to reach Earth and its colonies. So the Terrans would still send spies to the Empress Tita government, as they do see the potential in such a thing. So those events will still go the same. Many of the events that surround the war are still the same. It's just like it takes much longer for the Empire to attack Earth's colonies and Earth itself, as the Terrans also are able to sabotage their ships at the shipyards on Corellia, destroying many of them in secret, while ruining many and taking time and money away from the Empire, which works well. So eventually they are able to start attacking the colonies, but due to the Terrans able to stall them much longer than they did in the canon timeline, the Empire is only able to destroy many of their outer colonies. So by the time they reach the mid-colonies, we are already at the events of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and that is a major difference from the original timeline. So they do still discover Zakul and stuff, but you're probably wondering about characters such as Shepard and many others. Well, many of Shepard's friends would still join the, well, I guess, forces. Well, I guess the UNC at the time, much later on in their lives, but they're not as experienced. Shepard, of course, still meets Thrawn in this timeline. That's not much of a difference. It's just maybe he isn't as, well, I guess not as experienced, but he and Thrawn still build a relationship and do eventually become friends. So yeah, those are some of the big differences that have changed. So we now leave off with the Empire's fleet about to start attacking the mid-colonies of the Terrans. But, of course, the events of Return of the Jedi are beginning. So that is where we're going to leave it off. So, it is, I guess, good to film this. Well, never mind. It's good to be back. I'm happy. Yeah, so I promise not to take as long with well, I guess like taking time to post these videos. Yeah, I am truly sorry for taking at least almost a year just to post like this, but I have been very busy. So yeah, now we're gonna be doing episodes, well, Legends and Mandalorian episodes every day. So tomorrow will be Star Wars and Earth Mandalorian, the first episode. So there's only one thing I have left to say, and that is I really would like you guys if you guys would subscribe to this channel and watch his videos. You see, I recently found this new channel, this new traveling channel, and I'm actually enjoying their videos. So this dude is currently he only started like at least a week or in a couple days ago, and I would really like if you subscribe to his channel and watched his videos. Yeah, so his channel's name is Chris Around the World 717. This is a new channel while I was scrolling through traveling channels. Well, I guess like this is a new channel I was looking through when I was looking through YouTube about traveling channels since I really like to watch them, and I really feel like he's doing well. So if you would please subscribe to his channel and watch his videos, that'll be very nice. So without further ado, thank you for listening. Goodbye.